For today, we just have a couple of ground rules we'd like to go over with you guys before we get you started inside of the cave. So rule number one is that there is no eating or drinking inside of the cave. If you have a reusable water bottle, we ask you to keep it closed for the duration of the tour. Or if you have any food, there's a trash can right here. You can throw it out before we head down. Rule number two is there is no smoothing or vaping inside of the cave. It's a closed cave, so you can get caught inside of the cave and could damage some of the formations as well as our experience as a whole. And then rule number three is the most important, is that you are not allowed to touch any of the formations inside of the cave. That's because we have oils on our hands that actually completely stop the growth of these formations, and we'll get to see that at our very first stop today. Feel free to take as many photos as you would like, flash or no flash, the rocks do not care. It is very slippery, so I do ask you to hold out the handrailings throughout our tour. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll answer to the best of my ability. And you can follow me right down this way.
So excited.
Could have found quad ride. Quad ride.
Like that could be my background.
It already looks cool already.
Huh?
It already looks cool already. Y'all gotta send me those pictures.
You should have brought your phone.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not taking a picture, I'm taking video.
That's okay, I'll send them to you, Soren.
Nope.
Roger, where's your phone?
Oh,
Right
he
here in
has
my
it.
hand.
Oh, you're taking pictures?
Yeah, of you.
Oh, it's already chilly.
Oh.
Oh,
You go first, or
wow.
am I going first?
Look at that.
Wait, you was standing there.
You were in my way.
Fill it up here just so we can make sure everybody gets down.
That's pretty cool.
Roger, did you see this?
Whew. Almost fell.
Oh, look at
Whew.
that. Look at that.
It looks like melting
I'm not
snow.
touching it.
Yeah, I know. It looks like melting snow.
Sorry, Mom.
I just wanna.
It's gonna be on YouTube.
Hey,
She'll be famous.
So welcome everybody now to the inside of Crystal Cave. Crystal Cave was discovered on November 12th, 1871 by two farmers from here in Kutztown, John Garrett and William Merkel. And the cave was actually completely discovered on accident while the two were mining for limestone. Now back in the day when tours were first being given, they would have all these nice floors and hand railings and stairs for you to be walking on. Right now you would actually be standing in about 1.5 feet of thick mud. And keep in mind, you'd be doing this in your Sunday best, so men that would be in a suit and loafers, and women that would be in a dress and heels. Now, this formation to my left is one of the very first, if not the very first formation that the farmers would have seen when they entered Crystal Cave. This is what we like to call our upside down ice cream cone formation. I think the name's pretty self-explanatory, kind of looks like a melting ice cream cone. Now, this formation is made of dripstone, and dripstone is formed when the water seeps down through the soil and drops off calcite from the stalactite down onto the stalagmite. Now, an easy way to remember this name of the formation is the stalactite will hold on tight to the ceiling, and the stalagmite, you might trip over it if you're not looking too carefully. Now, this formation is 200,000 years old, and it grows 1 inch every 300 to 500 years, so don't expect it to look too different at the end of our tour today. I'm just trying my flashlight over here, I don't want to shine it in your eyes. Now along this wall, you're going to see what is called flowstone. Flowstone is made out of the same minerals as dripstone, but instead of dripping down, it flows down the wall in these sheet-like patterns. You notice over here, it's this nice pearly white color. So as you move over, it turns yellow and eventually this brown color. This is what I was telling you about earlier from the oils on our hands stopping the growth of these formations. Now when tourists first came down here, they actually rubbed their hands along the walls for good luck because tours were a lot scarier and a lot longer back in the day. So they thought rubbing these formations would give them good luck, but it actually caused permanent damage to these formations. You might also notice down below, there's kind of a jagged edge, and that's because these are cut off stalactites. Because there was originally not a gift shop here at Crystal Cave, tourists were allowed to come down and cut off formations to take home with them, expecting them maybe to grow back in a couple of days. But it's been over 100 years, and they still have not grown back, so that just shows you how slowly this cave is actually growing. Now, one last thing to this area. If you look right above your heads, if you're from around here, we like to call these our very own Pennsylvania potholes. Now, this is the first evidence that Crystal Cave was once completely submerged under the water, and we know this because when the water would have drained out of the cave, it would have created 2 whirlpools here in the ceiling, causing the rocks to erode away, creating our very own potholes. Do you guys have any questions about this first room? Okay, so throughout our tour today, you're going to be seeing these little red lights. We call these our wish lights, because if you hit your head, you're going to wish you would have seen them. They indicate low-hanging rocks all throughout the cave, so please be mindful, watch your head, and you can follow me down this way.
Oh no.
Hey, you have the duck soon.
I hit my head all the time, so I already have the brain damage.
You have a hard head.
I gotta go get a big ice cream cone.
Did you?
I've already gone.
I want to get a picture of that over there.
Oh, sorry, sorry. Oh, sorry, sorry.
If you want.
And the pot.
Oh, there's an ant on it. No.
Oh, wow.
That is definitely Pennsylvania potholes. Look at that flow. What I forget. Flowstone. There we go. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, you can't. You ain't allowed to touch it.
It looks like snow. And I just want
Yeah, do not.
to throw it at someone.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm gonna try to get everybody
There's
in
more
this room,
flowstone
so
right
sorry
here.
if we have to get a little-
There's more flowstone right here. It's just darker.
Move up there. Just gotta try to get everybody in.
Step on in.
Well, we're trying.
Oh, look down here.
Yeah, it's for the red light, wish light, I think. Whoa.
It looks like snow. That's fun.
So right now we're actually in the smallest room we have here at Crystal Cave, and this is what we refer to as the storage room. Now the name has a little bit of a backstory to it. So as you might have also noticed, when the farmers first came down here, they realized it's a lot cooler down here than it is up on the surface, especially on summer days. So they thought this would be a great place to store some of their crops. It actually was the complete opposite because it's so moist and humid down here. Their crops spoiled in about 2 days, which is a lot faster than they would have normally. Now, the reason we call it our storage room is because we like to say the farmers left some of their crops down here for us to see. If you look up at the ceiling, maybe you can see some green beans up here, maybe a cave carrot here, and then down here we like to say we have a giant mushroom. Now, it's okay if you're not a fan of vegetables. You can look up at the ceiling and see some cave bacon right here, and there's some over there as well. Now, this cave bacon is what is known as drapery. It's the same type of that flowstone we saw in the other room that was eroded away, but instead of throwing in that flow-like pattern, it grows in these ribbon-like patterns instead. Now, another fact about the ceiling of this room is this is not the original ceiling of this room. This rock that you're looking at right now is what is called a drop rock. So this rock actually fell in an earthquake that happened about 500,000 years ago. And it created that this room we're standing in today. And actually, we'll get to walk on the other side of this drop rock. Now, you might have also noticed this red light glowing from down here. This indicates one of our many side passageways we have here at Crystal Cave. This one specifically goes back about 25 feet behind where you watched that video before. Now, the reason we don't take you guys down there is because there are a lot less formations due to a lack of moisture, and also you have to be crawling on your hands and knees most of the time, and I really don't think anybody wants to be doing that today. Do you guys have any questions about this room? No? Okay, you can follow me this way.
Looks like what my teeth look like when I pull them out. Down it? That's Timmy the Tooth.
That's funny.
Use your imagination. It looks like bacon. It does actually look like. It looks like very.
Like a strip of bacon?
Yeah, it looks like very, very greasy
Yes, that does
bacon.
look like a strip of bacon up there.
Very, very greasy.
Yeah, it was cooked in like a whole pot of grease.
Yeah.
It's very, very greasy bacon.
Yeah. See it?
Yeah, I wouldn't eat your house.
Bacon's good.
Yeah, but it's too greasy right now.
You could wrap a hunk of cold bacon and eat it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't want to touch that.
No, you ain't allowed. Come on.
So right now we're standing in the largest single room that we talk about here at Crystal Cave, and this room is referred to as the Crystal Ballroom. Now the name has two parts to it, the crystal part and the ballroom part. I'm going to start with the ballroom part first. So back in the day, especially during summers, people would stay in the inn because tours were a lot longer. They would sleep at the inn before they came down here for their tours, and at night they would come down to the cave and host events such as hoedowns and dances. But this space also had events such as church services and baptisms that happened down here, and weddings as well. Now you might have noticed over here, you're going to see another formation. This is what we like to call altar rock. Now altar rock is one of our dying formations of the cave. I'm known for three reasons. One, the discoloration of the formation. Two, there is no stalactite on the ceiling to feed this dying formation. And three, it actually was moved from deeper in the cave and then cemented into the ground to be used as the altar for weddings and church services that happened down here as well. Now, if you remember from the video, they discussed a wedding that happened down here in 1919. Now, the bride was referred to as a kind of bridezilla, and because she insisted she had live music played at her wedding. So she paid 4 men a quarter each, which in today's money is about $8, to carry a baby grand piano down to the cave. Now, as I've been saying, there were not these nice floors so to carry the piano into the cave. They actually had to carry the piano from the top of this rock up here, all the way down it, and then across this little platform right behind you standing, where it played a total of 1 song, the Bridal March, before it was exited right back out of the cave. Now, behind where you're standing is where concessions would have been sold. Like there was alcoholic beverages, drinks, and food as well. So now comes the crystal part of this room. So when the farmers first came down to the cave, they were shining their lanterns along the walls, and the first thing they noticed actually along this wall, they noticed a bunch of crystals inside of the wall. They thought they had struck rich and they were never going to have to work a day again in their lives. They thought they had found diamonds. So they were very excited. They cut off a piece of this wall and took it to a local jeweler down in Kutztown. And the first thing this jeweler would have done was rinse off the crystals, and when he did this, they actually completely dissolved away. So unfortunately, these are not diamonds. They're 6-sided calcite crystals. And you might be wondering, if it's so moist down here, how are they still surviving? If you look right above it, there's this natural ledge that actually acts as kind of an umbrella, keeping these crystals intact. So the farmers were a little bit disappointed that these weren't diamonds, so they kept looking. And they made their way down over here. Now these crystals along this wall are a little bit harder to see, but if you look down here, you're going to notice some more crystal-like formations. So they thought, maybe these were diamonds. So they cut off a piece of this wall and took it to the same jeweler. And when they did this, he rinsed off this crystal and they did not dissolve. But unfortunately, these are also not diamonds. These are 8-sided aragonite crystals. And the fact about these crystals is they actually need to be submerged in water to form. So it's kind of neat to point out that one that needs water to form and one dissolved in water are right next to each other, just showing you how old the cave actually is. One last thing to assume, if you look right above your heads, you're going to see some cracks in the ceiling. These are actually called fault lines. That's because our cave is a part of the Blue Ridge Fault System of Pennsylvania. So that actually makes this room the most unstable part of the entire cave. So if there was an earthquake, you would not want to be in this room. But luckily, earthquakes of that night do not happen very often. So it's taking about an hour before anything else could happen. So as long as we get out of here on time, we'll be okay. Do you guys have any questions about the ballroom? Yeah.
What's that? Like that line right there.
That's one of the fault lines in the cave.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like there's a hoof up there for some reason. Like
Oh, what?
A deer step for some reason.
Oh, what?
The holes in the ceiling?
Yeah, she said
Yeah.
it looks like a hoof.
So when the events happened down here, they actually would hang wheels, like wooden wheels, and light candles on them, kind of like a chandelier. So the holes up there are actually where the chandelier was held.
Oh.
Okay. Do you guys have any other questions about this room? Okay, so it does get very slippery on the rest of our floor, so I do recommend you pull out your hand rails. You can follow me up this way, just make sure you're watching your head and your step as well.
Literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
Right here. Talking about. Right here.
That's a whole spider verse over there.
Yeah.
That's a whole spider verse.
Ugh. What was that? I think it just wanted through a cobweb. Of course. Let it be me. I think I stepped like right in a cobweb.
Oh, there's another passageway right there.
If you fall, I'm going down with you.
Get a picture of that really. Hey, Rod, this is right here. Right there.
Oh wow. I'm trying to get everything. But I can't go up the steps.
I'm gonna hit my head either way. Oh, that looks like a whole rock of snow.
I would recommend it.
Ow! Who are you? There's money everywhere. Oh, look at here.
Yeah, it's a wishing well. You're going to see lots of dollars.
There's a weird looking dollar down there. It's like brown.
Yeah.
That might be a different courtesy. That might be a
For a
different.
while. Oh, yeah, it's a
That's a
difference.
different dollar.
So we just came from the Crystal Ballroom, which is actually the deepest part of our cave, being 120 feet under the ground, to up here where we're getting about 70 to 80 feet under the ground. And the first thing I'm going to draw your attention to in this area is actually right behind where most of you are standing. If you look along this back wall, you're going to see what we call our totem pole formation. Now, this is a column. If you remember from the video, columns were formed when a stalactite and stalagmite meet in the middle, creating this formation. Now, the reason we call this formation our totem pole formation is because you might be able to see some animal heads in it and really use your imagination. Up top here, some people say maybe they see an elephant head. Down at the bottom, maybe a rabbit. And then up top here, some people maybe see a bear head, snout poking up, but it's kind of all up to your imagination what you see. Now, to the left of this totem pole formation, you're going to see what we call E.T.'s finger.
Oh!
What is it?
E.T.'s finger is a helictite, and a helictite formation is formed when the water pathways of the stalactite get messed up a little bit, creating the stalactite in this odd formation, which is known as a helictite formation. Now, this area is also home to the largest body of water we have here at Crystal Cave. Does anybody want to guess where that might be?
Right there.
You're right, it is right there. If you look inside of this giant boulder, you're going to see what we like to call Lake Inferior. Now, Lake Inferior holds about 3.5 quarts of water. It is being fed by a stalactite, and you can see a stalagmite forming down at the bottom, and eventually this puddle of water will completely solidify over. And you might have to move out from underneath the ledge to see this next thing I'm going to talk about. But on top of this ledge, you're going to see what we call Castle Rock. Now, Castle Rock is another dying formation, similar to Ultra Rock we saw in the last room. And we know this for two reasons. One, like Ultra Rock, there is no stalactite feeding above. But two, when I turn my flashlight off, if you're standing on this side, you might actually be able to see the light passing through this formation. That's because when these formations die, they actually die from the inside out rather than the outside in due to the ring structure that they form in. And we actually can get a better look at this ring structure on the ground where you're standing. If you look, you're going to notice some cut off stalagmites. So when the paths were put in, they cut down these stalagmites because they were kind of in the way of the four pathways. So we do not want these formations to grow back. So these are the only formation in the cave you are actually allowed to touch. So if you really want to touch formation, you can touch these. There's hand sanitizer at the end if you're really worried about it. I personally think they feel like a wet, slippery, cold rock. But if you're really itching to touch them, feel free to go ahead. Did you guys have any questions about this area?
Where's the front, where is the photo wall?
If you look along that back wall. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of look like fried eggs, don't they? The one kind of even looks like an avocado. We got it closer. Do you guys have any other questions? Okay, we're going to be crossing a metal bridge, just so you know. It's fine.
I see it now.
So you can touch them over
And even though I don't have money, I'll go listen.
Sam?
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it.
Can I touch it?
You can if you want to. This is the only one that you can't touch.
It's like a wet, it's kind of like a normal smooth rock. Screw you! They keep dripping on my head. It's probably that stalagmite. Whatever. It keeps dripping on my head. And close enough.
I bet you there's a cavern like this right behind the spring in a cabin. Because you can't get big things out of small bodies of water. Okay? I had a crayfish from the end of its nose to the end of its tail was that long. It was longer than mine.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I showed it to your mother, about scared her to death. She was catching little crayfish.
Do you still have that?
No.
Oh wait, I'm a little dumb.
Stop that. I don't want to hear you put yourself down.
We might have to fill it over here as
Or
well.
I'll smack your mouth. That's stupid.
He was just joking.
Oh, that's the. I'm not good with these types of bridges.
Yes, please be careful somewhere. What are you doing?
Everything wrong.
Ceiling. So in that same earthquake that happened about 500,000 years ago, this rock would have fallen from up here, hit this ledge, and actually flipped over, causing all these stalactites to now become stalagmites, which is why most of them are dying, but some of them got lucky and have new stalactites feeding them and are still alive. You might have also noticed to the left-hand side of Prairie Dog Island, this cut-off formation. That's because when one of the past owners of Crystal Cave passed away, they cut down this formation and actually put it at his gravestone to honor his memory. This was done about 20 years ago, and it is said to still be there today, but it's about the size of your pinky nail, so it's very, very small. One last thing for this area, if you look right above your heads, you're going to see the single rarest formation we have here at Crystal Cave. We call this our lion's tail formation. Now this is a helictite similar to E.T.'s finger, but it has a crystal cluster around it that would have had to be formed under the water. This formation was found deeper in the cave and moved here for us to see, so it is no longer growing, but you can see this very rare formation. There's only one other of these in the entire continental United States, and it is located in a cave in New Mexico.
What?
Now, this next part of our tour is what we like to call lights out. We actually turn off all the lights here at Crystal Cave and give you kind of an authentic feel of what a tour might have felt like in the late 1800s and early 1900s. We just ask you please turn off all electronic devices so no light is showing. And also you won't be able to see anything on your